Welcome, today we're gonna do a fade without guidelines and we're gonna texturize the top. We're gonna start the haircut, we're gonna start using number 5 and we're gonna use the technique trapping the hair against the clipper. In this area we're gonna comb the hair down. Using this technique, cutting with scissors on the top at the end is gonna be easier. In this area the hair grows up, we're gonna use the clipper against the gray and we're gonna cut going down. Also, we can cut in a horizontal way depending on how the hair grows. We're gonna use number 3 a bit lower than we use number 5. We're gonna use the clipper in a diagonal position, avoiding making a line. We're gonna use number 2 a bit lower than we use number 3. Continue using the guard in a diagonal position to avoid making a line. In this area we cut going up to avoid bringing the fade higher than you need. We can cut the rest of the hair in a horizontal position. We're gonna use the 1.5 a bit lower than we use number 2. We're gonna use number 1 with an open blade and we're gonna use the border of the guard. We're gonna go from left to right, only clearing the darker areas. We are using number 1 with an open blade, avoiding making an aggressive contact with the 1.5 area. Continue blending all the way to the back of the head. We're gonna use number 1 with a closed blade a bit lower than we use number 1 with an open blade. We are gonna go back and we're gonna clear the darker areas left using the border of the guard. Remove number 1 to use the 0.5 or half and we're gonna use it a bit lower than we use number 1. We are gonna use the border of the blade and we're gonna clear the darker areas. We use the 0.5 or half, avoiding making an aggressive contact with the number 1 area. We are doing a fade without making guidelines in this part of the video where we use the lower guards. We didn't edit the video so you can appreciate the process and you can see the progress using this technique. Close the blade to use number 0 and we're gonna continue using the border of the blade. We're gonna go back from left to right and we're gonna continue clearing the darker areas left. We're gonna use number 0 a bit lower than we use the 0.5 or half. When we make a fade without guidelines, the line is imaginary. In that imaginary line, the darker areas are gonna be in a row. We're gonna cut the darker area using the border of the blade. We're gonna skip the lighter area and we're gonna continue with the next darker area, all the way to the back of the head. The rest of the hair on the bottom, we're gonna cut it with the trimmer using the same technique, using mostly the border of the blade. We're gonna continue with the right side. We're gonna use number 5 from right to left. We're gonna use the technique trapping the hair against the clipper. We're gonna comb the hair down and we're gonna cut it. Then we're gonna use number 3 from right to left in a diagonal position, and we're gonna use it a bit lower than we use number 5. To cut the rest of the hair and any uneven lines, we're gonna use number 3 in a horizontal position from the front all the way to the back. We're gonna use number 2 a bit lower than we use number 3. In this area we cut going up to avoid making the fade higher. We're gonna use the 1.5 a bit lower than we use number 2. We're gonna use number 1 with an open blade. We're gonna use it a bit lower than we use number 1.5, and we're gonna continue using the border of the guard in a diagonal position. Focus in clearing the darker areas. We're gonna use number 1 with a closed blade a bit lower than we use number 1 with an open blade. Continue using the border of the guard. Remove number 1 to use the 0.5 or half, and we're gonna use it a bit lower than we use number 1. We're gonna continue using the border of the blade, and we're gonna continue from right to left, clearing the darker areas. In this part of the video we use a close-up view so you can appreciate the process using this technique. We're gonna close the blade to use number 0, and we're gonna use it a bit lower than we use the 0.5 or half, and we're gonna continue using the border of the blade. We are doing a fade without making guidelines in this part of the video where we use the lower guards. We didn't edit the video so you can appreciate the process and progress using this technique. The rest of the hair on the bottom cut it with the trimmer using the same technique, using the border of the blade. After using the trimmer, you can use the 0.5 or 0 to polish the blend. We're gonna make the connection on the back. We're gonna use number 1 with an open blade, and we're gonna use the border of the guards. Then use number 1 with a closed blade and continue blending. The rest of the hair we cut it with the 0.5 or 0 depending on the length of the hair. The top we're gonna cut it with scissors. We're gonna use the cutting scissors and we're gonna comb the hair to the right. We're gonna use 3 fingers touching the scalp. We are cutting in a 90-degree angle in a horizontal position using the point cutting technique to reduce the length of the hair before texturing the hair. The crown area, we're gonna make it shorter. We're gonna use 2 fingers touching the scalp. Comb the hair to the right and connect the guideline on the middle with the right side. Remember, in the crown area we use 2 fingers touching the scalp. Comb the hair to the left and connect the guideline on the middle with the left side. In the crown area we use 2 fingers touching the scalp. Connect the third lateral section of the left side. Adjust the hair on the third lateral section in a vertical position to make this area square. We're gonna start texturing the hair. We're gonna use the texturizing scissors and we're gonna use 2 fingers touching the scalp, and we're gonna make 3 cuts going up. Cut in a 90-degree angle in a horizontal position. We can see here in a slow motion the 3 cuts going up. Texturize also the right side and the left side. We're gonna make another round of texturing the hair. In this case we're gonna use 2 fingers touching the scalp, and we're gonna make 2 cuts going up. Here you can see in a slow motion the 2 cuts going up. Texturize also the right side and the left side. We're gonna make another round of texturing the hair. In this case we're gonna use 2 fingers and we're gonna make 1 cut. Also, you can texturize the third lateral section, scissor over comb in a 45 angle degree. Cut against the grain of the hair. Now we're gonna start with the blow dry and style of the hair. The front we're gonna blow dry it going up. We are using a closed tooth hair brush to create volume and comb the hair up. The back we comb it to the front so the hairstyle has a longer in the front and shorter in the back effect. In this case we use paste with a matte finish and high hold. Most of the product we are using it on the ends of the hair. This is the final result. This was a fade without making guidelines and texturizing the top. I hope you like my video. If you like it, share it. Thanks for watching and see you next time. These are some of my previous videos. I invite you to watch them, and if you like them, hit the like button and subscribe.